Took you so long to get that song going, I thought I was going to have to start singing it. And nobody wants that.
Nobody.
No.
Some things you just can't recover from.
Nobody wants to hear Brad. When we die by my side, this is our battle cry. How much do you hate this song?
We've heard the song a few times in our day.
Because if you don't know, have we ever talked about the song?
Yes.
Or have we talked about this on a podcast?
Yeah, no, we've talked about it before. But it's been around for a minute.
Guess what number of podcasts this is in the history of our podcast?
I don't know. 50.
Just over.
51.
Just over.
52.
Just over.
53.
53, baby. This will be podcast number 53. Now, a lot of people do that in a year.
What are you
I'm not saying nothing.
Are we
bro.
insinuating any kind of thing?
No, I'm not insinuating anything. No.
Okay.
Episode 51.
There was a small gap.
Well, there was. I went and looked from podcast 50 to podcast 51. Almost 5 months, Adam.
That's fine. You got to keep the people on their toes.
If they're standing on their toes for 5 months,
their calves are huge. You're welcome.
They got calves and bunions. Had some issues.
You can send the bill to P.O. Box 190, Full Strip Meat at Wellston, Oklahoma, and we will deposit it into.
Great. You just gave out our address.
It's a P.O. Box.
I didn't realize that it is, but
sometimes
there's going to be anthrax in there.
Sometimes it's kind of nice to go there and get some mail every now and then.
There's going to be anthrax in it.
Anthrax. Man, that's a blast from the past.
What was that guy's name?
Anthrax.
Remember the Unabomber? Remember that was a thing?
What was the
You were
Unabomber's
little
name?
bitty.
I mean,
you were a little bitty.
Both of us were not very small, or not very large children at that point. We were both pretty small.
I've always been a big guy.
Yeah, I've always been just you. This size your whole life.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, we took a little. There's a little hiatus, but we're back. But the first episode back was appropriately named. It's Adam's fault.
It was mostly my fault. There's other things.
We did get some great feedback. Can I share some feedback? Can I share some feedback? Because we talked about there'll be halves of dozens of people that are
halves of dozens.
This is true. The podcast is back. So we got our buddy David here. He says the Blind Squirrel Boys are back.
I'm not mad about it.
No. I'm proud to be a part of the dozen fans.
The half of a dozen? Is it half of a half dozen?
Half of a half.
Is it half of a half dozen? Okay.
Yeah. There's only 6 of them.
No, that would be 3.
Well, that's true. It's 3 fans. It's him. Well, there's more than that comments. So
did they comment multiple times?
No.
Are we officially approaching the half dozen mark?
I think we got a half a dozen because I accidentally we had an upload error to Apple Podcasts.
Oh.
And so I had to pull a podcast down. But I did receive multiple messages about it and a phone call from Cliff Lightsey in Florida because it only uploaded a couple minutes.
And he was disappointed.
He was disappointed. He said, "Hey man, just letting you know." And then I had several people message me, say, "Hey man, the podcast." So I pulled it down, re-uploaded. Anyway, but this David goes on and says, "I was half expecting Brad to take a camera to Adam's house and do a podcast on location at some point." Regardless, this podcast is a great way to relax and end a long week.
What?
Oh, yeah. I think it's one of those things where you go, you know what? At least I don't have it that bad.
At least I'm not like this.
At least I'm not them. You know what I mean? Sometimes you watch something or you see something and it makes you thankful for what you have.
There's always a bigger dumpster fire.
There's always a bigger dumpster fire. And let me just be that dumpster fire for you.
You know what? You're welcome. You're welcome,
You're welcome,
America.
David. You're welcome, David. I'm glad that we could be the bigger dumpster fire for you, that I could be that so that you could appreciate what you have more because, well, it's just a train wreck.
That's fine.
It's a train wreck.
People.
You
people
say
have to
dumpster
like it.
fire. I say home fire.
Home fire. That's too close to home.
Not anymore because yours burned down.
Not anymore because you don't have a home to burn.
Yeah. Another guy named David. David is apparently the most popular name.
See, I told you it was only a half dozen. They're commenting multiple times.
No, it's different. This is David Overholt.
Oh, a different David?
This is a different David. It's not the same
We
David.
should call him David. That way we can keep them separate.
David
This is
and
David.
You know, we used to have a guy that worked with us that was named David, but you
Yep.
consistently called him Denton. So maybe we just
Yep.
call him Denton Overholt.
No, his first name wasn't David.
Oh,
And
his
I
last name
consistently called him Dylan.
was. I'm sorry. I just kind of blocked
You
all
just
that
kind of
out.
blew that one completely. Just blew it.
Are you upset about it?
No, but my mustache is caught in the mic. And
Me too, bro.
and
I'm
it
kind of
really kind of hurts. I don't like it. I just got it. Yeah. I don't like it.
But David Overholt.
David. Thank you.
He
I
says-
know who you're talking about.
Okay,
now.
now perfect. He says, "I'm proud to say I'm a part of the Glorious Six."
I
So
just
glad
like
to
that
hear
the podcast audience is like really leaning into
God bless, and we're praying for you guys. And see, that goes on to reiterate.
that they
Look
think
at this
it's
dumb
out of
man.
control.
We got to pray for these guys because
They're clearly
know,
off the rails.
they're one shot of heroin away from being homeless on the
Oh,
street. Just one
God.
injection away. You know, I mean, we're there. You know.
It's a bad deal.
Had
It's a
somebody
bad
else
deal.
who just said, commenting, "Praise Jesus, the podcast is back."
Oh boy,
Praising Jesus for this podcast.
you need to elevate your standard.
We're just out here praising Jesus.
I'm
the
glad.
podcast
I'm
is
glad
back.
that we get to have a little bit of glimmers
Well,
of hope.
You know, we're kind of a big deal, Adam.
Yeah, I'll just lean into it.
Just lean
Should
into
we
it.
just lean into it?
Yeah.
Okay. Just kind of a big deal now.
It's just
We're going to be selling autographed posters on the Final Descent Outdoors website. FDO podcast. Did you ever put the logo on anything that I made?
no.
It was such a good
No,
logo.
it is. I need to do that. I need to make
Yeah.
a Final Descent podcast
need to
like
update
shirt
it.
or hat or something. It's a good one. Yeah. That
Wait.
little cassette tape.
Yeah, it's a cassette tape. Just as that's about the quality we're getting. Got to go in low
I can't argue
standards.
with that. I can't argue with
Standards.
it. That's where we're at. That's where we
Mm.
live. We're living
Mhm.
in that world.
Mhm.
Anyway, it is good to say that we have done 3 fairly consistent podcasts. We're moving in the right direction. I am a little bit upset.
Okay. Ready to file a grievance?
I'm ready to file a grievance.
All right.
As some of you know, and some of you may not know, I coach my son's 6-year-old flag football team. We're the
Yep.
Las Vegas Raiders.
Mm.
And here's the deal, folks. I hate to lose. I don't lose well. I don't lose gracefully. I'm a big, hairy American winning machine. I wake up in the morning.
Picture that. For those of you listening,
You know what? I'm not a hairy guy.
take a moment.
I'm not a hairy guy. I feel like people would assume that I'm a hairy guy because I am a big dude. But I feel like people just look at me and be like, he's a big, burly, hairy
like
guy.
a woolly mammoth.
A woolly mammoth. You testify to this.
Yes, I have an excessive amount of body hair. Some would call it wolf syndrome.
We ain't talking about you right now. We're talking
Yeah.
about me.
Okay, back to you.
All right.
Back to you.
Back to me.
Back to you.
You will testify, though, that I am not a hairy guy.
You are not an extraordinarily hairy guy.
I got some
No.
chest hair.
There's been some desperate times where there was not an undershirt worn, and we had to clip onto one of the 3
No, we
chest
did.
hairs that you
I
got
have
down there.
3. I got more than that.
It's like Charlie Brown's head down there. I know we had to sacrifice one of the hairs to the mic, and it was a sad day. We had to play taps,
Okay.
7-gun salute.
Okay.
As one of their fallen comrades. It was a disappointing day.
I'll tell you this. What I'm missing in body hair, by God, you make up
I
for it.
definitely do.
Adam, it's one of those people that it's shocking.
Just check that out. Just check that out. Just check that out. Look at that. Look at that.
Just covering my drink, just in case some of that covering my drink just in case some of that arm hair decides to shed.
Stop it.
That's I'm gonna move this over a little bit. But yeah, you're a hairy guy.
I do. I'm a hairy guy. That's just the way it was.
Anyway, I don't like to lose. I'm a big, hairy, not so hairy, American winning machine. And
big alopecia.
We were coming off a big win. We played the Houston Oilers.
So they all NFL team names?
No, you can be college or NFL.
Okay.
But we went with the Raiders because it's just an intimidating thing, right? You know, I mean, and so we beat the Houston Oilers 28-0 last week. Really on a high. Felt like we had a good practice this week. I feel like I'm doing like a post game
interview.
Yeah, interview. You know, I felt like we had a great week of practice. You know, one of the things that I feel like we've struggled with is defensively pulling flags. And so we made that a priority this week. We really worked hard on that. We installed a couple new plays this week. Some draw plays.
So you did some draw plays.
We did. We put in some draw plays this week. Felt good about just where we were offensively after going out and scoring 28 points. And honestly, could have scored more. But, you know, had a little bit of mercy.
You had to have some class.
Well, we had a little bit of class.
I mean,
we could have hung half 100 on the Houston Oilers. They definitely didn't have Warren Moon back there playing quarterback.
They are who we thought they were.
The Houston Oilers are who we thought they were. So we played Georgia Bulldogs this week. Don't have a great record. Now, this is a first and second grade league. I only have first graders, which is fine. You know, like we'll line up and play anybody any day. We did not show up.
So you won't line up and play anybody?
No, we'll line up and play you.
You'll line up.
We'll line up.
You'll line up.
And maybe not even line up correctly. I did have a kid on defense, and this is our second round of playing defense. The other team's second possession. And we're talking third down, so we've ran plays.
So it's serious.
Yeah,
we got it.
Well, we have established, we're well established that we're playing defense. At this point.
We're not anywhere else.
He's playing. He's a corner, and he ran the most beautiful 12-yard curl route the other way. Like he forgot that he was on defense. Made a great move to get around the wide receiver, who he assumed was a defensive back, and ran a beautiful 12-yard curl route. This is detrimental.
That doesn't work in flag football.
From a defensive side, it don't work on any
football, but especially not flag football.
This was a pretty good detriment to our defensive scheme, and we paid for it. So we lost the game by 8. It was devastating.
Heartbreaker.
Yeah, we were up at halftime, and we said, guys, we are up just 1. We're just up 6 at half. And I said, guys, they get the ball. I said, we got to have a 3 and out right here. Guys are running the same thing. They're faking one direction on a handoff, turn around and handing it, and the ball going the other direction. I said, guys, we know what they're doing. They've run it the whole time. I said, be disciplined, stay home, pull flags. 3 and out. We're going to get the ball, and we're going to march the field. We're going to go score on them. Everybody ready? Everybody's excited. We're like, all right, boys, everybody get your hand in here. Raiders on me. Raiders on 3. 1, 2, 3. Raiders.
Yeah.
First play of the second half. Sucked in. They run the same freaking play that they've ran 8 times, 9 times, 10 times already.
Someone turned on the vacuum.
And, I mean, my dudes just sucked to the middle of the field. Fake on this fake. They hand it off. He bounces outside. We touch flags. We graze flags. We looked at flags, but we don't pull flags. His sidelines got first play of second half. They go down and tie the ball game up. Tied up.
It's hard.
End up having a couple key drives ended by penalties. You can't flag guard. You can't stiff arm anything. I got a kid breaks about a 40-yard run. At the end of the run, about to go out of bounds, stiff arms a kid. I mean, you know,
it was beautiful.
Derrick Henry thing.
Beautiful,
just puts the kid down. Penalty. And guess what? It's not at the end of the run.
Oh, really?
Flag guarding.
It's from the spot of the.
No, it's not from the spot of the foul.
It's from the line of scrimmage.
From the line of scrimmage. We're at the 5-yard line, bro.
That's rough.
Oh yeah. So we just killed ourselves. So I'm
I feel your pain.
it's bad. So and
I feel your pain.
and you're coaching you're coaching Hurley.
I'm the offensive coordinator of the mighty Wellston Tigers, 3rd and 4th grade. Wellston Tigers tackle football team. And we went out and played our crosstown rival, Luther Lions.
Cross County.
Cross County.
Are y'all in the same county?
No, they're in Oklahoma County.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're
They got higher insurance.
they do. They do. They do. But they are definitely
because more Oklahoma.
Yeah.
More can't stay out of the way of a
Can't
tornado.
stay out of a tornado.
Yeah, I know.
Just dip, duck, dive, dodge.
Yep.
Dodge.
Can't do it.
Yeah. So, but we go to play them and get the team psyched out. Start them off with a Bible story. Tell them about Samson. Because we're playing the Luther Lions.
Yeah,
playing the Luther Lions. So I tell them, guys, I want to tell you the story. I want to tell you the story about this guy named Samson. And one day he's walking home, and a lion jumps out and comes to attack him, and you know what he does. And I have this little kid on our team, and he looks at me, and he knows the story. He's just got baptized last weekend, and the top of his lungs, he goes, he ripped him in half!
Yeah,
and all
baby.
the whole team just starts going nuts. And I'm like, get ready to go rip some lions! They're all freaking out. It was awesome. But I think I got them a little too psyched up. I think I took it over the edge. This is right before kickoff. They run out and kick the ball off, and you see the whole team just converge. All the outside contain was lost, and they ran one right, took it for 6 right off.
That's a great way to steal the momentum back. Is to take the opening kickoff and run it right down your frickin' throat.
Took it back for 6, but yeah. So then from there, they came back out, kicked the ball off. Hurley, actually, my son Hurley got the ball and made a really decent return down to the 20. And then had a really horrible call. We ran just like a fullback, like a 32 dive right up the middle. And he hits the ground. Both knees hit the ground. He's falling down, and the ball pops out. And I'm like, I'm getting ready to call the second play because, he's down. He's clearly down, and out of the corner of the field, there's this blue beanbag comes soaring in from 40 yards away, the sideline ref. And so I had to have a moment of keeping my composure.
I'm going to tell you a story real quick.
Okay.
Because it aligns with the referee thing. I forgot to tell you this.
You did? Okay.
So my oldest son's assistant baseball coach. His dad is a college head baseball coach. I won't say his name. But he also is a football referee.
Okay.
And his uncle is also a referee. Okay. He is refereeing a game, and I think he said this was several years ago. So they asked they needed to fill in. They had somebody was out, so they ended up calling our assistant baseball coach several years ago to come and fill in.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't really know what I'm doing. They said, we're going to make you the back judge. We're not going to put you on the sidelines because you'll get your butt reamed by the coaches.
Yeah.
And they told him, they said, do not throw a flag. If you see us throw a flag, throw it.
Yeah.
He goes, if it's blatant, so bad pass interference, you can throw a flag, but that's it. I'm talking like the kid tackles a kid before the ball gets there.
Okay.
Other than that, you don't throw a flag.
Leave it alone.
You leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
And he said that was my mindset the whole night. And he said, so I'd see another ref throw the flag. He goes, I'm 30 yards back chunking it, like throwing it up there, like I saw it too. And he said, guys would come up to him, like, hey, ref, hey, watch this guy, he's holding. He's like, I'll watch it. And he's like, I ain't watching nothing, bro, All right. So, but he said that this is a junior high football game.
Okay.
And it's like Pauls Valley versus Purcell.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Pauls Valley goes down and scores to get the lead. Kicks the extra point. They're up 7 with a minute left. Okay.
Oh no!
They line up to kick off the ball, and he said his uncle walks up to him and he goes, "If they run this kick back, we're throwing flag. We're not going to overtime."
Really? Ha! No way.
Guess what?
They ran it back.
Flag thrown.
Guess who threw it?
You bet.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
So we do not get. I don't get paid enough to do overtime out here with these junior high kids.
Oh my gosh,
Bro, that stuff happens.
I hate it. I hate it. God, I mean it's hard to argue with them if they're not getting paid, but still,
I know.
it just makes you sick.
But anyway, I just thought you'd appreciate that. So keep going. All right. So had a bad call.
Bad call.
Argue it.
Go off. We come back. They first play out from defense, it's just like what you're talking about. We worked with our defensive coordinator, worked very, very, very diligently all week about outside contain because that's what we knew we were going to have to battle was outside contain with this team because we knew they had some kids that could run fast on the edge. First play.
Sucked into
just
the side.
Turn the vacuum on, right? The quarterback just set hut. Corners, ends, around the edge. Just a generic old sweep. 6. Took it for 6. But the good thing is, I mean, that was the last like major defensive flub of the game.
Yeah.
However, it was not the last offensive flub of the game. Because, you know, Brad, it is really hard to win a football game with 5 fumbles.
Yeah. No, it doesn't happen. You don't win. Can't win having 5 turnovers.
You can't.
5 turnovers, you can't do it.
We ran 4 plays in the first half. 4. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And one of those was a extra point conversion failure.
Oh, so one of those scored a touchdown.
Yes. We had fumble. Hurley broke off a 72-yard touchdown run on a dive play.
Okay.
Fumble. Failed extra point. Fumble. End of half.
Oh, gosh.
It was miserable.
It's a nightmare.
It was miserable.
So the Wellston Tigers fell.
We fell to the Luther Lions 24 to 6. 24 to 6. And it sucks because I know we spotted them at least 14 points.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we fumbled. We fumbled
5 turnovers.
On the first possession of the second half fumble.
Oh, my gosh.
It was an ex-jet sweep. Came around the corner, carrying that ball high and out. See.
So and it's tough because I'm competitive and I don't like to lose.
No, it kills me.
It's hard for
God,
me not to because I'm a coach's kid. I play college football. I have had my butt absolutely chewed.
Oh,
I mean, destroyed. Our defensive coordinator when I was in college, his name was Todd Fugate. Todd Fugate's about 4'9".
Mm-hmm.
Our first practice, I am in the huddle. And our defensive line coach's name was Brad Francione. His dad was Dennis Francione. Coached at Alabama and Texas A&M. He was a coach at Texas A&M when OU beat Texas A&M 77-0. Glorious day. Anyway, he's talking to me in the huddle. Coach Fugate is addressing everybody, but my defensive line coach is kind of addressing me. And I said, okay. Oh, boy. Coach Fugate, though I was addressing my coach, I spoke in his huddle.
Oh, boy.
He called me everything but white. I mean, cussed me up one side like, you think because you're some local kid you can get away with, whatever you want? Listen here, you blankety blank mother blank. I mean, cuss me. So, I mean, I come from old school
football.
And I'm trying to be nice to these 6-year-old kids.
Yeah, because they're
6-year-old
kids. At this point, it's more about getting to love the game than.
But I got after the game. I got old Emmett. I love Emmett. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I love him. I'm like, Emmett, with a name like Emmett, bro, you got
to step up.
You got to step up.
You got things that you got to do.
You got things. And let me tell you, man, we gave Emmett the ball on the end around to the right side, bro. If he keeps bouncing that thing outside, but he tries to dance, and I'm like, you're kind of like the real Emmett. You run about a 4.7, bro.
We ain't there yet.
Listen, we're a north and south guy.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't dancing. He's out there trying to dance. And, he gets 3 yards. And I'm like, bro, go.
Yeah.
Just go, son. Anyway, after the game, though, Emmett, he informs me. He's like, Coach, the reason we lost, that's flag guard. That's flag guard. And I said, we're not making an excuse. He goes, but Coach, that's flag guard. And I said, when they weren't flag guarding Emmett? When you was the corner and that dude was standing 10 yards behind you, and they threw it over your head.
When you was on fire for being torched, that's when, Emmett.
He took you, put you in the oven, closed it, and turned that oven on to 450.
You came
Cooked
out
you,
like
son.
you came out like a piece of charcoal.
He cooked you, son. I said, you did a great job guarding the air, Emmett. But guess what? The air didn't catch the ball. The kid behind you did.
Yeah.
I said, there wasn't no flag guarding in. You know, and he's just like,
Oh, and then you're like,
all right, guys, we got cupcakes after the game because yesterday was Sterling's birthday.
Yeah.
All right.
Get yourself a juice box.
Get yourself a juice box.
Yeah.
Let's not suck next week. All right.
That's if there's not anything that will make you guard your attitude, like flag football or just little league sports in general.
I know.
Because Wellston right now is in a building phase. We lost football out in the middle school and high school. So there's no more football in Wellston right now.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, there wasn't any kids that wanted to play. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But at this point, what's most important and for me is that these kids get to fall in love with the game. They love the game. They want to play the game. They understand it. Whether winning, I hate saying winning's not the most important because for me, it kind of winning is very, very the most important. But I want them to just like the game. And especially when you got kids, this is their first year to ever play. And half of them, the reason that they're making mistakes is because of a lack of confidence because they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You call a play and they look at you, their eyes are as big as a saucer because you just said, all right, we're going to run a jet sweep reverse. And they're like,
do they look through you like there's nothing there?
No, not
it's not
like that. Not
okay.
like your
completely
guy.
empty.
Yeah, not like the lights are on but nobody's home. None of that stuff's happening. But
Are
more
we
like
on offense or defense?
Yeah, no.
All right, guys, we're gonna run. We're running blue one. Blue one. Okay. All right. Hey, you're going in motion here. You go in motion on set. Am I getting the ball? This is our 9th week of football from practice, and then we practice once a week. We've had 5 games. We had 4 weeks of practice leading up. This is our 9th week. Our playbook consists of 6 plays.
Is blue one of those plays?
Blue one, black one, red one, green one, green 2, red 2.
It's pretty straightforward.
It's pretty straightforward. And when a kid goes, am I getting the ball in this play? I want to dig a shallow grave.
Hey, if you've coached little league sports and you're like, well, it's just out of line.
Yeah, that's fine.
Then you sucked. You sucked as a little league coach because I'm sorry.
It's frustrating.
It's the most frustrating thing in the entire world.
So,
but when it works,
have you seen that video of the kids trying to run through the paper?
No.
That little league team run through the paper, and they split in half. Half of them go around to the front, and the half go to the back. And the coach is like, no, and they just collide with one another.
Oh no!
At the paper, kids, it's just
that's not the most fitting thing ever in the entire world.
I love watching those because it does make me feel better because the coach, he has like a clipboard and he just like throws it on the ground. He's just so ticked because it was just a debacle.
That's what
and I feel that.
But at the same time, it's one of the most rewarding things when something goes right.
Yeah, when you beat the Houston Oilers 28-0.
Or I'm even
and
like
you skull drag them.
Just to the point, like when I call a trap play, and I see the 2 offensive linemen down block, and that other guy takes a step back, and that other tackle, the defensive tackle, takes a step upfield, like, huh? And he comes across the face.
They forgot to block me.
And then they forgot to block me. Kabloom! Just ear holes him.
Hello, darkness, my friend.
That moment right there is just like jacks me up. But then the next play, they fumble the ball, and you're back. It's just a roller coaster.
It is a roller coaster of emotion.
It's a roller coaster of emotions.
My son scored a touchdown, like breaks a long run. Beautiful, right? And this other team, we're all first graders. They are all but one kid on their team is second graders, so they don't have one first grader. And to see Sterling hit the sideline, outrun all these older kids, and you're like, man, that's it right there, bro.
Good.
That was money. And then we come back, and
then the wheels come off.
Yeah, the wheels come off, or we stiff arm or we flag guard, and it's like, bro, you can't. It's just like you said. It's beating your head against the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not getting paid.
No,
It's like being addicted to heroin.
it's just signed up for this drug.
Coaching Little League is like being addicted to heroin.
It's like
you know
being
what I
a
mean?
drug
It's like
addict.
it's here.
You ride the high,
You're here, and then you're here.
You're back down.
You just fall out of it.
and then you got to chase the dragon again, trying to get back.
Speaking of insanity, we shot 10 product videos today
Yeah,
for Taylor Targets.
it was good. It was good. We got it all done. The lines started to blur a little bit.
They're at the end. Those
Toward
last
the
two-
end.
The last two started getting tough.
My favorite line that got cut though was that the pro base is a trusty companion.
Trusty companion. The pro base is your trusty companion
Is
on
your
the
trusty
range.
companion.
It's your trusty companion on the range. Like, bro, that's carrying. some
Did that
dead weight.
did that line not lead to one of the better video ideas that we're going to pursue?
No, it did. It did.
So stay tuned for that one. But
Let me tell you about my best friend,
it's gonna be good. It's
little
gonna be
buddy,
It's gonna be really
little
good.
buddy. Wherever I go, he goes. Kid sister.
You got to comment.
What was
Comment and let us know if you had a little buddy. Because I had a little buddy.
Did you really?
I had a
See,
little
I
buddy.
didn't have a little buddy.
I had a little
Nah,
buddy.
we were poor folk.
I had a silver
My dad
spoon
wasn't
kid.
a lawyer.
Yeah.
I wasn't a silver spoon kid
I was
like you
a
were.
silver spooner.
I know you were.
Yeah.
I know you were.
That law degree really paid. Really, see, I had a little buddy when he was still an insurance adjuster.
Oh,
So that one may have come from a grandpa
okay.
or something at that point.
Who
because
was a?
He was a lawyer.
Lawyer.
He was a lawyer.
Yeah, he
yes.
was.
Yes.
It was. What was your favorite? Like, what's one of your most memorable kid toys?
Oh, the Ninja Turtles. The van. The Ninja Turtle van.
Did you have the one that shot pizza?
The one that had pizza, that shot pizza, and then the door would fall out and the missiles would roll out onto the ground while you're doing it. Yeah, that was my top toy.
Did that? Listen, on the little pizzas it said "Do not shoot
Mm-hmm.
at people or animals."
Oh yeah.
bro, that ain't no joke.
No, it would not play
Those
around.
suckers would shoot.
And they're like
20
hard
yards.
plastic.
Oh yeah, and I mean when it shot them.
It's not like foam.
Dude, that thing was legit.
Yeah. No, I had there was like for years in a row, birthday, Christmas, all Ninja Turtles. Like by the time I was 7 years old, I had the Crag Dome, the Tetradome. I had the car. I had the Ninja Turtle helicopter guy. I had so many because every birthday I was like, all right, that car. I want that Ninja Turtle car.
And because you were a spoiled brat, you got it.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
No, that was not inaccurate. I'm not going to apologize for all the cool Ninja Turtle toys that I had, and you did not.
I love it. I was a poor kid.
Yeah, you just liked playing in septic tanks.
It did happen one time. I'm gonna tell maybe one of the most interesting gifts that I was ever given as a kid.
Okay. Did you get like an avocado?
No. The one of my favorite toys was a Velveeta Shell's cheese box.
Oh yeah,
and a locust.
there you go.
Caught a locust in a velvet cheese box.
That's good stuff.
And I spent a good 2 days until it died in that box.
That was pretty good.
I
I don't remember much.
growing
of my
up.
childhood.
So you remember Cabbage Patch Dolls,
Oh yeah,
right?
I didn't ever have a Cabbage Patch.
Well, I had
Kid.
one.
Yeah.
I got one Cabbage Patch doll.
Okay.
Growing up in Raiden, Oklahoma, what is something that you just aren't gonna see?
A Cabbage Patch doll.
No. What are you gonna? If you're growing up in Raiden, what is something that you're just not gonna see in Raiden?
Rain.
Black people.
So there is a shortage of diversity in Raiden, Oklahoma. Is what you're
Raiden,
saying.
Oklahoma is pretty white.
It's pretty standard.
It's pretty Caucasian.
Pretty Caucasian.
All
right.
The entire county, Roger Mills County, is probably one of the whitest counties
Well, there you go.
around. Right?
Okay. Okay.
And so
Okay.
my mother wanted me to realize that there were people who of other colors in the world. So my mom bought me a black Cabbage Patch doll.
Oh, okay. Okay. Everything's starting to make sense now to me now.
Oh my gosh. Okay. What does that mean?
Well, I'm thinking immediately of the blanket. I feel like there's a connection.
So there's a family heirloom.
I feel like there's a connection here now. Okay?
We have a family heirloom blanket at my grandma's house that I found that has all of the grandkids and all the family, has a little character of them if you don't know the story. And my little character says Brad Clay, born February 11th, 1982. It's got some little building blocks, and it's a little boy in a cowboy costume. And what color is that little boy, Adam?
That is a little black boy.
It's a little black cowboy.
It's a little black cowboy.
That's a little black cowboy.
And so
you think that maybe
there's a connection.
That the
black Cabbage
Patch doll
that played a key role.
I will say this: I do appreciate my mother wanting to, because I mean,
she's educating.
She was educating me through a Cabbage Patch doll.
That's good. She was actively trying to educate you.
She was
culture
me because in Raiden, Oklahoma, you're probably not going to see a black guy.
That's crazy to think about, isn't it?
Yeah, right. So that was probably one of the most interesting gifts that I ever. Did you have a Rumpelstiltskin?
I did not have a Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah,
I did not have a Rumpelstiltskin. I'm trying to think of any
I bet you were a Tickle Me Elmo guy, though, weren't you?
No, I trying to remember any other toy that I had other than a Ninja Turtle.
Really?
I mean,
you were sold.
I was 8 up with Ninja Turtles. That's that and.
Little kid, did you look like that? Did you kind of resemble the Kirby character?
Were
you short and pudgy kid?
I really didn't get big. I really didn't get to be fat kid until I was probably about 11, 12 years old.
Oh, okay.
That's but when I was I looked like Hurley when I was younger.
Poor kid.
Yeah, so I was pretty scrawny. But yeah, no, I loved Ninja Turtles and video games.
Yeah,
that was my jam.
Okay.
Ninja Turtles and video games. Got to play. Got really good at Tetris. Got really good at Super Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt. I was pretty killer.
You know what's great about games when you was a kid?
What?
No ads.
No ads. No ads at all.
Did you hate that today?
It's
you
worst.
Play some video game.
It's the worst.
On your phone, it's just nothing but ads.
Yeah.
So we are less than, let's see, 1, 2, 3. We are 3 days away from.
We are 3 days away
from deer season opening in the state of Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
And me and you are ready. We're ready for it, buddy. We've
prepared.
We've got all the things out.
All of the things. They're all ready to go, and we've got so many target deer that are named and a hit list. And we're ready.
No, we're not. We're not ready.
Hey, I put some bait piles.
You did. You
out.
got six new cameras going.
6 bait piles and 6 cameras out yesterday.
Yep, pigs are gonna eat every bit of it.
Every single drop of that stuff I put out is gonna be eaten by a hog. Land terrorists. It's not gonna be good.
I still got some work to do.
Got a little bit of work to do.
But I am excited because this Saturday, I speak in Waynesboro, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
And Sunday, I'm going to drive part of the way back. I'm driving to Joplin, Missouri, Saturday night. I'm going to stay the night in a hotel. It's like a Ramada. Real nice. Ramada. I'm going to stay at a hotel in Joplin. And then I'm going to Woods County Whitetails.
Mm-hmm.
Up in Freedom, Oklahoma. They've got like 20,000 acres, big bucks. I've handpicked one out. My buddy Roy up there's got one. He broke 2 of its legs.
He's got it sitting there ready for you.
He's like, you got to shoot 35 yards, bud. 35 yards. So I am so pumped.
I wheel it out on a dolly.
It was just wheeling him out. No, I'm so excited about this. Having the opportunity to go up there and bow hunt with Woods County Whitetails. First class, everything, man. They feed you good. You got steaks one night. We had quail last time I was up there. Just super great accommodations. So, and obviously great hunting out of Okie Hides, the old Okie Hides blinds. Super nice.
They got the air conditioned one up there.
They don't. I know, because it's gonna be kind of warm next week.
It's gonna be a little warm.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little warm next week. Gonna do a little sweating.
Actually, I think I saw in the weather that I have to look at that now because I'm curious, but I feel like I saw the weather next week wasn't gonna be
I don't think it's gonna. I mean,
it's cool front coming through.
it's not gonna be horrible, but I don't think it's gonna be.
It's not gonna be
It's not
like
gonna be-
today where it's 95.
Yeah, today was a little warm. Had a little sweat going, Adam.
You had some sweat.
A little sweat
Some
today.
sweat and
filming those videos.
The old nether regions.
Adam looked at my butt. And he goes, "Hey man, you're gonna need to change shorts before
Before we go
go
to
eat lunch because your butt is completely soaked through." What's our temperature like next week?
Next week, Monday, 94.
It's a little hot.
Tuesday, 90. Wednesday, 79.
Wednesday could be the day,
Wednesday,
but that changed right there.
59% chance of rain.
Oh, we got a little front coming.
Little front comes in on Wednesday.
Wednesday could be
that's it. And then you got 80s.
I'm really excited to use these triple point broadheads too.
Yeah.
This will be my first.
The old Clovis
Keel.
broadheads.
Be my first time using those and drawing back. I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run some death and some carnage.
Noel sent me a pack of those.
Did you really?
Yeah, I got them in the mail. I was like,
Well,
what is this? What is this?
Isn't that nice?
And I opened it up and went, look at that.
Oh, Noel Evans coming through for
Noel Evans.
us. Oh,
coming
Noel.
through. Trying to make up that that crossbow adjustment.
You're never gonna let him live that down.
No, I'm not.
Man.
Oh, I'm not. That's beautiful. It's my favorite thing. He was ate up about that too. Golly. That's what makes it even better.
Yeah, it tore him up.
It tore him up bad.
Yeah, it did.
I'd have been tore up too, but it made it worth it.
It was a great moment.
It was a great
It
moment.
was a great moment. I
Great
enjoyed
moment.
laughing at you.
Made good TV.
Made good TV. I
Made great
enjoyed
TV.
laughing
That's
at
all
you.
that matters. It made
I
good
enjoyed
TV.
laughing at you sucking.
I just remember you looking over going, what was that? I had it right on him. I don't know what you're talking about.
You hit that steel tank.
And then
Remember
that
that?
stock, I put on a good stock on that hog.
You did. I was filming it.
Mohican sneaked that thing all the way up to about 15 feet away from
You
that
did
joker.
and missed.
And missed him right over the top. Gave him a haircut.
It was crazy, bro. I was
Jeez.
filming it. I filmed it because it was almost dark.
Can you imagine that thing
And I
had
could
come
just see that
after me?
lighted knock. Oh, you were laying on the ground.
I was in the hole in the fence.
Yeah, he was coming. The hole he wanted to come through.
Could have been.
Oh god, that would have been.
You might getting that on camera. Get it away!
Golly, it'd have been worth it to get that on camera.
I'm rolling.
Subdue him, Adam. Subdue him.
Go for the jugular.
Oh gosh, that is great. That's great. Because the problem was you had the only broadhead you had was it only had an inch cut diameter on it. So
Yeah.
at the time that broadhead, you're not leaving. It's fine. It's just not a quick death.
It's not a quick death.
So you're out there just stabbing him with a 1-inch bladed.
Don't stop stabbing until he stops squealing.
Oh gosh, that is so good. But I am excited about deer hunting. I'm excited about cooler temperatures. That's really the main thing.
Yeah. That's,
Just hunting brings about cooler temperatures, and I think that's what I'm most excited about. And it's something else I'm really excited about is that Oklahoma State football is absolute garbage.
Oh, it is
As
bad.
you wear that hat,
It is bad.
it's really bad.
It covers a bald head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
I have from these kind of hats,
Mm-hmm.
when you're bald, there's no hair under that mesh.
Just sweat.
And what it leaves is a giant peace sign on the top of your head.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm working on that's just now starting to go away. So every time I wear one of those, because I worked out on the tractor, brush hogging, burning the clutch and the gearbox out of my old brush hog.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah, it was fun day.
Okay.
It was neat. So anyway, we're going to buy a brush hog, just to let you know. But there's...
Is we as in me?
Sure.
Am I in on this?
All the tractor elements are also included in the deal. Brant and I were in. You're voted out on the purchase of this, so it's just going to happen.
Well, I'll tell you what. Tomorrow is Customer Appreciation Day at Great Plains Kubota.
So
and they got
tomorrow's the
great
day?
deals.
It's a great deals.
Great deals.
Great
happening.
deals. Somebody going to be there at that deal?
Not somebody who's been voted in to buy it. What goes around comes back around. I thought I told you, baby.
Okay.
I'm a big Justin Timberlake fan.
Okay.
Big JT fan.
Old JT.
Big JT fan.
Big JT.
Yeah. Yep, and that just fit appropriately.
Yeah, it works.
What goes around comes back around.
You got if you're gonna dish it, you gotta be able to take it. That's the rule.
What's your favorite Justin Timberlake song?
Oh gosh, don't ask me about songs. I'm the worst memory on songs. I like, the only one that I can even think of right now is the one from the Trolls movie, because that's the one that's been beaten to my head relentlessly.
Which one?
That one that's on the Trolls movie.
Oh yeah, that's not that.
But that's not really a Justin Timberlake. I mean, he sings in it, but it's not like, I remember they did that song when he did the last time he did stuff at the Grammys or whatever, and they did that
Can't
song.
Stop a Feeling.
Yeah.
Can't stop the feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a good one. Yeah.
So that took you as a rock your body kind of guy.
That's good. It's my theme song. That's kind of my theme song, the Rock Your Body.
Or I'm bringing sexy back. I'm bringing sexy back.
It's actually a remix between the two. It's kind of it's a mashup really between Rock Your Body and Bringing Sexy Back. They did it specially for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wrote that with you.
It was because Justin Timberlake likes the body hair thing. So
yeah, I think the only one that really fits me is Cry Me a River. That's one he's wrote about me.
So what?
It's like, Brad, you are just a dumpster fire.
We're just gonna have to cry
me
a
river.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. People need this.
You know what? You need this after a long week.
It's just a long week.
Just after a long, just
some
to
people relax.
Some people
take a moment.
Some people get outside. Some people are like, hey, I'm going to go for a walk.
Grab a glass of lemonade and sit in a rocking chair.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe something a little stouter.
Yeah, something stouter maybe.
Just that's how I unwind after a busy week. And then there's other people that say, you know what I want to listen to? Final Descent Outdoors podcast.
I'd like to lock myself in a dark padded room in a closet and listen to these two psychopaths ramble.
I love listening to Brad sing Justin Timberlake songs. Just one line from him.
Just sends me over the edge.
Just really is my thing.
Yeah, people need this, and it's just, I don't understand it. Cliff.
Cry me a river. Cliff was listening to, so episode number 50 was appropriately named Doo-Doo Oil.
Doo-Doo Oil, yeah.
And he said I had it on in the truck with his dad, and his dad made him turn it off.
Oh, see those are moments that make me proud.
His dad
those are the moments that keep me going.
Like, what is this?
What is this?
He's like, this is Brad's podcast. And he's like, is this all that they talk about?
My ears are bleeding.
Well, I mean, they don't usually talk about doo-doo oil. But, this is...
But it's not
This is current events.
This is not... We're trying to stay current for the people.
We're trying to stay hip and cool for the people.
Like we talked about college football. Current.
Mm-hmm.
Current.
Deer season.
Talked about deer season. Current.
We talked about...
some other things.
Yeah, other things that were
Justin Timberlake.
Always current.
Current.
Never out of style. No, never.
He's bringing sexy back.
Yeah.
So
can't stop the feeling.
So just dance.
That's not him.
Yeah. No, that's part of that song.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. That's the next verse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just feeding it. I'm telling you, that song's memorized.
His dad made him turn it off.
Made him shut it off.
You got to turn this off. I'm not listening to this. This is disgusting.
No, that's a proud moment.
Yeah, I tell you what, when you make a man who loves the Lord, who's a pillar in his church and his community, not listen to you anymore, I feel like we've really done.
When you say it like that,
it has really done something. You know what I mean?
When you say it like that, it kind of takes a little bit away from it, but it is what it is, I guess. It is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, we lost a listener that day.
We lost.
We don't have a lot to lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Isn't that what people say before they die?
Jesus left the 99, but I don't know if he'd leave the 7.
That's well, somebody else. We lost another one. Another one bites the dust.
Getting blasphemous out here.
Getting blasphemous.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, what's going on in the spiritual life of Brad Clay right now?
Well, I was going to tell you.
Speaking of current,
I had the opportunity. I spoke in Pensacola, Florida this weekend.
Uh-huh.
Really a really cool organization called Hunters Giving Back.
Mm-hmm.
Sportsman's Giving Back. Guy down there named Brian Ballard. Probably will never hear this podcast. Not a part of the Glorious Six.
Mm-hmm.
But my buddy Brian, he has an organization called Sportsman's Giving Back, and he raises money to help local charities, and help. And they do a lot of work with organizations that take kids. He has a daughter who has a disability, and her name's Haley. Absolute sweetheart. Picked me up at the airport. She's in the back seat. I think Haley's probably around 20, probably. Anyway, she's in the back seat. She's rocking Blue's Clues. Just a sweetheart. But he has a daughter who's in a wheelchair, needs constant care, and Brian's an outdoorsman, loves to hunt and fish, and so he was a part of some organization that took kids with disabilities and other things on hunts. And fishing trips, and so he ended up starting his own organization that helps they do all kinds of cool stuff, man. Raising money for all kinds of stuff, right? And so I actually spoke at the first ever banquet that he put on 12 years ago.
Okay.
And he had me back. Which is about how long it needs to be before you bring me back. Let the people forget the horrible experience. 12-year cool down period before you bring me back. But anyway, I had the opportunity to go. And Adam, it was so good. When you go to things, and I'm going to be the speaker, right? I'm the one that's going to be, bringing the word, and I'm going to, I'm the preacher. I'm the featured speaking guy of this event. But he had all these other things lined up that were so stinking cool. One was there was a kid who I believe it was due to bone cancer, lost both of his legs. He's about 10 years old.
Okay.
They raised money and they bought him a off-road wheelchair.
Wow.
So he could go. He loves to hunt and fish.
He could go hunting?
And they presented it to him there.
Wow, that's cool.
Dude, I filmed it.
Yeah.
It's the coolest thing.
You're just behind the...
Oh, yeah. But one of the other things, part of the money that was being raised at that event was for childhood cancer research.
Okay.
And so they were talking like 98% of all cancer research money is raised for adult cancer. And only 2% of the money goes towards child research cancer. And a lot of the treatments that are used for child cancer are the same treatments they used in the 1970s. Ooh. Because there hasn't been research done in that area. And
did not know that.
A lady got up and shared testimony of losing her 4-year-old daughter.
Oh my gosh,
to cancer. Adam, it was so powerful. And she gets up and she was talking about this organization that she is with that they're raising money for that night for childhood cancer.
Yeah.
And she said, she was sharing those statistics, and she says, you hear that and you're like, oh, it's fine and dandy until it's your kid.
Yeah. And
they're performing treatments. They're the same treatments from 40 years ago.
Yeah. Because
there hasn't been money given towards research for that particular, for that children's cancer.
Man.
And you're just like... unbelievable. So anyway, I was so moved this weekend by that event. I was honored to be a part of it. I went there and was going to share the gospel. I was so moved by it. Afterwards, I walked up to that mom, and I'm just like, because I was crying. I'm over there just boo-hooing, listening to this mom talk about losing her kid. And so I'm over there boo-hooing, and so afterwards, I walked up to her, and I was like, I hope you're a hugger.
Because it's coming.
Because I need to give you a hug. And she's like, man, you did such a great job. And I was like, you did a great job. We could have went into an invitation after you spoke.
Yeah.
Because it was powerful.
Man.
Powerful. But anyway, so that was just a really cool opportunity, a really cool thing I had the opportunity to be a part of, Adam. And so it's funny that sometimes you go into thing with a mindset one way.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm going to be doing this. And God has something for you in the midst of, So it just reminds me, sometimes it's not about the destination, it's the journey. And the journey is a part of that. And what I saw this weekend in Pensacola, Florida, really, really it moved me. It's powerful.
Man makes plans and God laughs.
He does.
He's always got something better.
And it's just, and God's, we say this all the time, God's in the business of making beauty out of ashes. We talked about your house.
Yeah. Talk about it all the time.
I had this grandpa and his 12-year-old grandson come up to me. And 12-year-old grandson had just lost his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I shared about losing my dad.
Wow.
And so this kid standing there in front of me loves to hunt and fish.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm able to say God's in the business making beauty out of ashes. And
Mm-hmm.
I always hated Adam when people would walk up and, like after I lost my mom or I lost my dad.
Yeah.
And they'd say, well, I know what you're going through. Like, well, do you still have your mom and dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Well, no, you don't know what I'm going through.
Yeah.
So I told that young man, I said, people can come up and say, I know what you're going through, and they really don't. But I
Yeah.
said, I can. I
Yeah.
can tell you that because I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you may not understand what God's doing in the midst of it right now, because I didn't for years. But I said, I was able to get up tonight and share about losing my dad. And I said, there were 40 people in this room that accepted Christ through part of that testimony.
Yeah.
I can see God's hand in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I realize you're 12 years old, and you may not see it
Yeah.
for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
But God's in the business making beauty out of ashes.
Mm-hmm.
He takes bad situations and brings glory to his name through it. So
Mhm.
I just had a great weekend.
That's awesome.
I had a great weekend opportunity to just minister and be ministered to.
That is awesome.
Yeah, man.
Oh, that's so cool.
What about you, buddy?
Oh, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Good. All right, let's
Dry
thanks for
desert
watching.
wilderness.
Hit the music.
It makes me think, like earlier when we were talking about football and stuff, and how we get caught up in just the rigmarole of life, and with coaching, there's such a level of patience that you have to exhibit.
You don't have to.
You don't have to, but
It's probably recommended.
it's
Those kids won't play for you again.
for it to be a success, there has to be some kind of patience exhibited. And it always makes me think about when I'm out there, and this goes for anything beyond just football, but any kind of situation, am I exemplifying the name of Christ through my actions in everything that I do?
Yep.
And there's a moment when we were playing another team. This is what in that last game, but guy broke around the edge. I believe it was Hurley actually got around the edge. He made a big run, probably a 50-yard run, but then had a fumble right at the very end. And he was down, but I didn't see that he was down. All I could see was that the ball pops out.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm way back where I'm at, and I'm holding a clipboard full of plays. And somehow the wind got a hold of my clipboard and launched it halfway across the field. And in that moment, I remember thinking to myself, I'm standing in the middle of a football field in front of 75 to 100 Wellston people who just saw the local youth pastor shuck his clipboard in frustration.
Oh, so you're saying it wasn't the wind?
No, it was not the wind.
Oh, okay.
No, I yeeted that thing.
Yeet?
And when I let it go, all the papers on it caught the wind, and so it just went, just all the papers just scattered everywhere. So then I'm like having to do the walk of shame, like pick up all the sheets of loose paper that have now blown across the field because they let go of the clipboard when I launched it. And what's funny is there's a sweet old lady named Ruthie that goes to our church, and she comes up to me, and the reason I say the wind thing, she walks up to me and goes, saw the wind got a hold of your clipboard out there. And I remember thinking, like, golly, like if I could take that back, like I want everything I do to be exemplary. Like I don't want to ever shame the name of Christ because of impatience in that moment or whatever. And so God, and what's cool about it is God can use even that mistake to glorify his name somehow, some way in the future. But that's what I've been trying to work on a lot.
Well, here's a tough question.
So.
What if God wants to use your mistakes and not your successes?
Well, I think he's in the business of all of it.
That's right. But what if he wants to do that more? What if he wants to take your failures and glorify his name more than he wants to take your successes?
That would be consistent with Scripture.
It would, wouldn't it?
It would be.
But that's a hard thing for us to want to grab a hold of and hang on to go, well, what if God wants to use my failure, my sin, the moments where I stumbled into it, and he wants to use that as a teaching, not my successes, not my victories. What if it's my L's and not my W's that bring him, that he wants to use to glorify his name?
And I think it happens. I think he does it through everything. I mean, when you look at how Paul writes in the New Testament, and he writes about trying to be unstained by the world, but at the same time, he also says, "I will boast all the more gladly in my weakness, because in my weakness, Christ's power is made perfect." Yeah, like it's in every aspect of your life, whether it's good or bad or happy, sad, whether it's success or an L, whatever it is, do all for the glory of God.
Yeah, that's right.
So, but what's helpful for me to know is that even through the L's, what seems to me as an L is ultimately going to be a victory for him. He's going to use it for his glory despite me, which is that's the beauty of the gospel in the first place.
That's right.
Is despite me, he still saved me. Still saved me despite me. So yeah.
Man, that ended really well.
Yeah, take that, Cliff's dad.
He's a great guy.
I know he is. Maybe he could stick through. Cliff's just got to warn him that it takes about 50 minutes to get to something of value.
Who would do that?
I don't know.
The Glorious Six. That's
the
who,
Glorious
baby.
Six.
The Glorious Six. Hey, if you're a part of that Glorious Six, we appreciate you. Hey, if you want to follow us, I tell you what, if you wanted to order some great Final Descent Outdoors merch, hats. I'm rocking the Rice Kill Eat T-shirt today. You can go to our website, finaldescentoutdoors.com. You can order it there. If you got a message you want to send to us, you can also go to finaldescentoutdoors.com. Send us a message.
Leave us a comment. Let us know if we've escalated past half dozen.
There you go. Also, you can find us on the social medias. FD Outdoors on Instagram and Twitter, and then you just go Final Descent Outdoors. Finally decent outdoors. Final Descent Outdoors on Facebook, and we'd appreciate if you give us a like and subscribe on our YouTube channel as well.
Helps with the algorithms.
It helps with the algies.
The algies.
How can people find you, Adam?
You can check me out at Hurley Films on YouTube and see what's going on with the family, what we're working on the house that's almost done.
What about OnlyFans? You got an OnlyFans?
You gotta check out. If you like seeing really hairy arms, it's a thing. It's a thing. Yeah.
Gross. Hey, guys, thanks so much for tuning in to today's episode. God bless you. I apologize for the things I should apologize for, and I stand behind the things that I should stand behind. How about that?
I guess that's as good of an outro as any.